Hey everybody, and welcome to the closing bell here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joe Cusick with the Cusick Group. Securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's take a look at all of the market action today. Here's my board. Taking a look at the NASDAQ composite. Finished the day down 36 at 58.25.44. You have the Dow Jones Industrial. Actually bounced back quite nicely. Didn't get above that 20,812, down 25 points. They were looking for 13 straight days in the green, which has never happened in history. We're seeing a lot of never happened in history before. The Russell 2000 trading down 1332 at 1386.68. Watch that one closely. The Russell being down is not a good barometer of short-term upside. The S&P 500 down 1233 at 2357, and you had volatility. Volatility really spiked today, up over almost 7%, up 83 cents at 1292, on the move in front of the president speaking. Now, some of the sectors that you're going to want to keep an eye on as he's speaking and going into tomorrow. You're going to want to keep an eye on the energies. Not only do we have the AIA report, but you're also going to hear him talk about pipelines. That's going to have nat gas and oil moving. The dollar. A strong dollar has put pressure on the commodity markets. We're going to see if dollar strength continues. It was up 5 cents today, UUP. Materials and finance. Materials, infrastructure plays. Listen to what his talking points are on that. And finance. Obviously, the interest rate markets, that's more of a Fed type situation. But we're also going to see how finance is going to be moving with what his potential ramifications of him rolling back or removing financial regulations, Dodd-Frank, and some of the most notable regulations. So taking a look at the markets and how they performed today, I think they were pretty tame when you're considering that we're going to have the first address ever by Trump to Congress. This is going to be very important because not only are you going to listen for talking points, which I doubt there's going to be much in substance, but you never know with Trump. But what you will see or potentially is that there's going to be a potential bridge. There is a lot of talk about how the fact that Dems and Republicans and even Republicans and the president are unable to communicate. Let's see if that bridge starts to get built tonight. Taking a look at some after hours action, Best Buy trading at 44.15 after hours, down $2. Salesforce came out, trading now down at 79.85, down $1.69. Salesforce CRM was pricing in a $4 move. It had already moved previously. Day high was 75. Now it's trading right off of the lows of the session. Best Buy, we talked about Best Buy as well in the and Salesforce in Tech Talk. We saw that Best Buy was pricing in the potential to move about $3.69. It's down $2. It's right off of its lows of $43.75. It was down about a buck and some change, so it's basically moving within its estimated move that we discussed going into earnings. But again, giving you that transparency so that you can get prepared going into this binary event. Taking a look at the technical components of the market, let's see where we're going to, if in fact the market does start to get weak. Okay. First of all, taking a look at the Dow Jones, we're looking at the E-mini futures right here, clearly on just an uptick. We've talked about this in the past. The 20, the 50, and the 200-day moving averages are far off. But what are the options pricing in for the next 3 weeks is potential movement for the Dow? Well, right now, the Dow futures options on the March contract over the next 17 days are pricing in that the Dow futures could be either up 500 or down 572 points. That means with the index currently at 20,807, you could see it as low as this area where it would challenge the 50-day moving average, break through the 20-day. So you're going to see this area potentially being challenged over the next 3 weeks, or it could just be off to the races and set new all-time highs, challenging that 21,000 level. Very interesting action today with this consolidation continuing over the last 4 sessions. We're going to watch this very closely since it wasn't able to finish in the green for the 13th consecutive day. Maybe some market watchers are going to start to get a little nervous, trim some profits. And of course, we just don't know what's going to be said tonight at the address by the president. Taking a look at the S&P 500 from a technical basis. And really why I'm doing this is because I want to give not only just the statistical backgrounds in the forecast, but also just give you a visual. Really give you an idea of where the market is. Once you can start seeing this, and then you hear the price action that I'm seeing that's being potentially priced in going forward, this picture starts to make a lot more sense. What do I mean? Well, the S&P 500, the March contract on the E-minis, is right now trading at 2,362.75. Again, in a 5-day consolidation, basically, well above its 20, 50, and 200-day moving average. So it's bullish. Great. We all knew that. But what we got to understand is that over the next 3 days, the market's pricing in that we could see basically about a 14-point range either up or down. That means that we could challenge new highs or we could start dipping down below, and we're going to start to get into this basically the 2350 level, which again is still above that 2320 level, which is the 20-day moving average, and which is what I consider the short-term bullish support right now. All right, so with the market pricing in about a 14-point range, either up or down in the S&Ps, I'm not seeing a big challenge right now being priced into the downside. But I say that with a bit of a caveat. Volatility is moving to the upside. One other index that I want to look at before I look at vol is the NASDAQ. And I also want to look at the Russell 2000. Now the NASDAQ right now finished the day down, and it's at 5332.25. Again, you're seeing that these markets are consolidating at the top for basically the last 7 to 5 trading days. Here, though, you're seeing that the NASDAQ is a little bit closer to its 20-day moving average, right here around the 52. As a matter of fact, we'll get exact. The 52.56 level is going to be where you're going to watch. Now, why is that significant? Well, the options in the NASDAQ March futures are pricing in the potential range of around $94 or 94 points, either up or down. Basically, a $100 move would get you into this range of this 52.22 level, right? A move down to about 90 to 100 points. That would challenge that short-term 20-day moving average. That could put the short-term trend in jeopardy. So we'll watch that. And again, we're going to watch semiconductors. We'll watch biotech. Again, with the discussion points that are going to happen tonight. Also, watch the border tax discussion. That could be huge, both for the S&Ps and the NASDAQ. Any discussion points that he gets, any positive or negative bounce back from just the general consensus, that could put the markets on notice and moving either to the upside or downside. And then finally, the Russell 2000. Taking a look at the Russell, I'm actually going to look at, let's see if I can get the end of day for the RUT. Let's do that. Can't get that. So I'll look at the IWM. IWM is the ETF that tracks the Russell 2000. Here we go. It's basically 1/10 of the Russell 2000. And again, trading in that consolidation between 137 and some change to 140. This one right here, though, you see that the small caps, the domestically centric sensitive stocks, they're very sensitive to the economic components here in the United States. It's a lot of small businesses and so forth, and it's domestically centric. A challenge here on the Russell 2000 of 1375 or 137.50 on the IWM, that's going to put the short-term bulls on notice. That could be potentially an opportunity for those of you that have been sitting on the sidelines. A challenge of the 20-day and a hold of the 50-day, that could be a good opportunity to potentially add or build positions if you're not in the market or you're looking to add to your portfolio. Specifically in this range between 137 basically 50 to 136 is an area where you're going to see if the bulls are going to hold their ground. That's where they're going to have to hold it. And again, right now, the Russell 2000 futures are pricing in about a 66-point range. And the IWM, I think, is roughly right now going into March expiration of right around a 3 and some change. But I'll have to check that and get back to everyone. All right, folks, that's it right now for the closing bell. We have a lot of action to cover overnight. We'll be watching the futures overnight to see how they react to the president's commentary and address to Congress and to the nation. So we'll be watching that closely, and we will cover all of that at 8:30 Eastern time tomorrow morning when we do our overnight report, and we'll take a look at Asia and all the action overnight. We'll see you then here at MarketStream.live. Have a great night.